right into our 8:30 high beam, which we are privileged this morning to talk to Lauren Burrell, a spokesperson for ODOT District 11. And how are you, first of all, Lauren?
I'm great, Brad. How are you?
Good. Well, thanks. Thank you for asking. Got here safely. The roads were great, so that's always a concern, I know, for District 11 for what you do. But I wanted to get into asking you about some things. You've had some major projects this summer, primarily 250, but I know 800 and some more. So can you tell us about the status of the projects that have already been started and undertaken?
Absolutely. So our biggest one, like you said, is a US 250 project that is just east of Denison there that required a 100-day closure, and the road is still closed. However, we are nearing, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And as of right now, October 14th is our 100-day mark, and fingers crossed and weather permitting, we're on schedule to hit that date. So hopefully mid-October, folks will see that road reopening. And one thing people have asked is, how are we going to know? And, of course, the barricades and the signage will be down. However, we'll blast it, via social media and any media outlet we can to get the word out there that the road's open, because I know that's affecting a lot of motorists in our area.
Right. I'll be happy to let everybody know that. And again, briefly, that one took a long time because it was almost like a start over, wasn't it?
So, yes, that was a major rehab. And what they did is they removed the existing concrete that was placed there in the 1940s. And a lot of folks were confused because the pavement didn't look bad. So it's kind of like we compare it to a house. You might look at a house and aesthetically it looks great on the outside, but the foundation is crumbling, which in this case it truly was. So it was affecting our pavement over the years, and this will give us a nice smooth pavement for years to come. So again, it looked great on the outside, but underneath it was causing a lot of issues. Yeah,
that can be a big problem. So most of the projects get wrapped up in the summer. Are there any other T's to cross and I's to dot before we get to the cooler weather?
We do. There's quite a few. This is always our big push. Of course, spring kicks things off, but the fall can bring some very busy days ahead, to wrap things up. Our contractors are out there trying to finish up, especially with having good temperatures still, because we're going to start to see those drop here in the next week, as we've already seen, these cooler temps. I think it was below 50 already this morning. But US 250 at I-77 there in New Philadelphia, they're, continuing that work on the bridge overpass there. We should see that ending here towards the end of the month of October. And we also have, resurfacing projects that are wrapping up, especially there in Strasburg. That is nearing completion, and it's just a big push to get things wrapped up. Again, those warmer temps are very important for that work to be completed. So very busy stuff going on right now.
We do have another project coming up. You told me that's in Carroll County, and that affects, I guess, a lot of drivers who are trying to get over the lake, right?
Absolutely. There is a 150-day closure that's coming up. That will start, we're slated to begin the 1st of November, and that is just north of Delroy there on State Route 542, and that is the bridge that carries 542 over the east end of Atwood Lake. And again, that's going to be a 150-day closure.
So you have to find another way around the water, I guess.
Yes, that one, it'll be a pretty significant and affect a lot of people, but, we want to get the word out there that closure is coming up for a total bridge replacement.
Yeah, well, that's needed as well, I'm sure. So now we talked about the cooler temperatures are on the way. That brings us to mind that we're going to have some slippery road conditions perhaps, and you guys are getting ready for your winterization. How do you do that? What's the checklist like for that?
So we have, of course, in District 11, there's 7 counties, and at each county we have our winter readiness event. Our mechanics from both the county and our district garage go over the trucks. They perform about 150-point inspection on all of our trucks. They're checking them from top to bottom. That includes, making sure everything is operational, from our salt spreaders to windshield wipers to brakes to fluids. All from little to big stuff on these trucks. Everything is checked out to make sure that they're in working order for when the snow flies, because that's the forbidden fruit around here that nobody wants to hear about, but it's a reality that we're heading into snow and ice season, so we're gearing up for that.
Well, and it gives us some comfort to know that you take such great measures to get ready for that. So how many How many miles of roads and trucks and so forth are we looking at for this winter season coming up?
So in Eastern Ohio, we have 3,378 total lane miles that we plow and treat, and that includes interstate, state, and U.S. routes. And we have 118 trucks to cover those routes and about 120 available drivers. That includes our full-time highway technician workers as well as seasonal workers that we employ each season. And then we also have auxiliary drivers from our district office. So we even have some engineers that are out there on the roads, plowing roads from different positions, which is really cool that we've got those CDL holders to help us out with those efforts.
That is, and I think the engineers, you talk about firsthand look at things under duress. That's kind of a good seeing eye for them, I would suppose. Absolutely.
Just get as much time in the truck as our highway technicians do, and it's a cool thing that they're willing to help out with that and something to take pride in.
Now, you told me there's over 300 employees within District 11, but you would like to have more. Is that right?
Absolutely. We have several job postings coming up here across the district and, throughout all of 7 counties. We do have a really cool opportunity that's starting to post more and more. It's a highway worker position, and that brings folks in under a full-time position, and there's no CDL required. And what that means is ODOT will pay for you to get your CDL as a full-time employee. You get full-time benefits, the day you walk in the door. And again, we'll pay for your CDL, which I believe is a pretty hefty value. I think you're looking at upwards of $6,000 to acquire your CDL nowadays. So we will pay for that. And, the only stipulation is you have to remain with us for 2 years minimum. But we hope to, of course, keep folks on for more than that. But that's a really cool opportunity that we have that it's very unique and new to ODOT to have that position.
So we can look for that to be posted on social media or on your webpage. How do we get a hold of you or look at the projects that are going on?
Absolutely. So we have lots of resources, especially for jobs. You can go to transportation.ohio.gov/jobs to find those opportunities. And of course, we share that information on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And then for all road work, you can head to ohgo.com. And that is not only a great tool for construction or for winter season and construction, but during the wintertime, you can actually pull up our weather sensors on the roads. Folks are always curious what the road conditions are like. And between our cameras that we have there throughout Eastern Ohio and our weather sensors, you can actually find out what, the conditions are like on the roads, which is a really cool tool.
That is. Yeah, I appreciate that too. So, all right. Well, how's the team functioning? Are you ready for the cold weather?
I'm not. I'm not ready for this. I feel like we're transitioning very quickly, and it's already here. So we know the snow's going to fly, and rumor has it from the Farmer's Almanac it could be a pretty hefty winter. Of course, we hope not, but however, we are ready to take on whatever Mother Nature has to throw at us. We're always ready.
Well, that's for sure. Hey, thanks for joining us and filling us in this morning. I feel like we learned a lot here.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Thanks. We'll talk to you again, Lauren.
Yep. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That's Lauren Burrell, who is the Public Information Officer for ODOT District 11, with some good updates on the roads this morning here on the 830 High Beam on our BT Morning Show.